Hello and welcome to my Generator deck profile. I picked this deck up last year after it got support from Photon Hypernova and I am really happy with how it performed so far. Let's jump right into the deck list. First, the normal summons. We are playing 3 Loptr. This can special summon any Generator monster from our deck as a quick effect during the main phase, so it's by far your best normal summon. 3 Lonefire Blossom. This can special any plant from the deck. The only real target for this is Mardel. When this is special summoned, we can add any Generator card from our deck to the hand. Most of the time you're either gonna grab boss stage if you didn't open boss stage already, or Vala, Side of the Generator bosses. This is one of the 2 new support cards and it's a really good one. To special summon this, you can discard a Generator card from your hand to the graveyard if Vala is in the hand or the graveyard. And if she's a special summon, she can special summon any Generator monster from your hand or graveyard. This way your level 9 Generator monsters are not bricks anymore, because you can just use Vala to either special summon them from the hand or the graveyard. And then you get a free rank 9 basically without using up your normal summon. Now the Generator monsters that have to tribute monsters for their effects. We are playing 2 𝙂𝙀𝙉𝙀𝙍. This is probably still the best Generator monster in the main deck. This is an Omni negate by tributing any 2 Generator monsters, and if your opponent adds anything from the deck to the hand, except during the draw phase, you can make them send a monster from the hand to the graveyard. Then 1 Nighthawk. This is a summon negate by tributing 1 monster, and 1 𝙂𝙀𝙁𝙀𝙀. This is a targeting banish by tributing 2 Generator monsters. We are playing 15 Handtraps in the main. We are playing 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Nip, 3 Droll and 3 Shifter. The only card that kinda conflicts with Shifter is Vala's effect, where she has to send a Generator card from the hand to the graveyard for cost to special summon herself. But if you go first, you can just use Vala, send to the graveyard for example a 𝙂, special Vala, then Vala specials back the 𝙂 from the graveyard, and then you don't have any cards in your graveyard again and you can use the Shifter. If you go second, Shifter is just such a good card that it's worth leaving out on the Vala effect and you still resolve the Shifter. For the spells, we are playing 3 boss stage, because this does everything for the deck. It specials a Generator monster from the deck and it gives you the tokens. 1 terraforming, just to grab the boss stage. 1 tactical talent, because it's tactics talents. 3 World Legacy Monstrosity, because this can special summon 2 level 9 monsters from the deck. We can target a level 9 monster we control and special summon 2 level 9 monsters from our deck with different types and attributes. And because basically all the Generator monsters have different types and attributes, we got Light Rock, Water Worm, Fire Fairy, Dark Spellcaster. This can just special summon any 2 Generator monsters from our deck most of the time. And finally we are playing 1 Called by the Grave, because we don't want to get Ashed on our boss stage and we don't want to get Ghost Ogred on our boss stage as well. Now the extra deck. We are playing a small 𝙂𝙀𝙁 package. We are playing 1 Winda, 1 𝙂𝙀𝙁 and 1 Aggregator. Aggregator can send 𝙂𝙀𝙁 to the graveyard, which can then search a sided-in 𝙂𝙁𝙁 Schism. And Schism can banish 𝙂𝙀𝙁 and Aggregator from our graveyard to special summon a Winda during our opponent's main phase. This way you got a way to play after Dark Ruler no more, and Winda is just a really good card still. Then with some rank 9s, we are playing an Earth Slicer. This can attach an opponent's monster that it beat over to it as material and its removal. And if you attach an opponent's monster, then you got 3 materials under this and you can easily rank this up into a format Zeus. 1 Phantom Fortress Enter Bloodnir, because this can hand loop or it's non-targeting banishing removal. 1 Hypertron, this can be a monster or a spell negate and can prevent something like an Ash Blossom or a Cosmic Cyclone on the boss stage. 2 Leviathan, Generator Boss of Shadows. This is the 2nd new support card and it's really good. This gives you non-targeting, non-destruction, non-banishing removal of any card in any graveyard or on any field. It's just insane. 2 Jormungandr. This can make both players draw a card and then they attach a card from their hand or field to this card as material. This way you can trigger the 𝙂 really easily, and if your opponent draws a card, then you can trigger the boss stage as well. It's just really good. Then we are playing a small F0 package, 1 Utopic Draco Future that you can summon with Utopic Future, and Utopic Future you can easily summon with a used up Phantom Fortress Enter Bloodnir and Jormungandr, Generator Boss of Eternity for example. And finally for the Xyz monsters we are playing 1 Zeus, because Zeus is really good and this is an Xyz deck. For the links, we are playing 1 BLS link, because we are playing many level 7 or higher monsters and this can easily be summoned with a level 7 or higher monster to give it the protection, and 1 World Years of Theological Demiurgy. This is basically a better BLS, because it's unaffected by other monsters' effects, and it's a board wipe if it was link summoned using 3 monsters with different types and attributes. And as I already mentioned, all of these got different types and attributes, so World Gears of Theological Demiurgy is a really good card. In the side deck we are playing the already mentioned Schism, 3 Lancia because this can prevent evenly matched or Cosmic Cyclone on the boss stage, 2 Lightning Storm and 3 evenly matched because this is a really good board breaker, 3 D-Barrier because this is a lingering summoning floodgate and decks can't really play around this, and the last card in the side deck is an Anti-Spell because this just completely kills some decks like Sky Striker or Runic, and it's a really good going first card to prevent something like Dark Ruddernommer or Lightning Storm. Let's jump right into the replays. The first combo is a really basic one and you can do it under Shifter. We need Vala and either Mardel or Loptr, because Loptr could just grab you the Mardel from the deck. We use Vala, send the generator we open to the graveyard to special Vala, and then Vala effect to summon back either the Loptr or the Mardel. Now we use the D-Shifter because we get no cards in our graveyard, and if you open the Mardel you can search yourself the boss stage too. If you got Loptr, just summon Mardel at this point. Then activate boss stage, make a Jormungandr F, detach 1. Don't detach the Vala because Vala got a graveyard effect and you don't want her banished if you are under Shifter. But if you didn't open the Shifter you can just detach the Vala and then you can maybe even special summon Vala back on the next turn, so yeah, keep that in mind. Jormungandr F, both players draw 1, attach 1. This triggers our boss stage. Boss stage can special summon half from the deck, and then we pass on this. We right now got 1 Omni Negate, a way to hand loop, and our opponent is under Shifter. During the draw phase we can special summon another interruption from the deck, get ourselves the tokens, and then in standby phase we can use Jormungandr to make both players draw 1, attach 1 again, use hard to make our opponent discard a card, and we hand loop them for 1, got 1 Omni Negate, 1 Sum Negate, and they are under D-Shifter. It's pretty nice what this deck can do. The next combo shows off how good Monstrosity is and what you will have to keep in mind if you play Monstrosity. I use Lonefire, Lonefire summons Mardel, Mardel grabs boss stage, activate boss stage, then I use Monstrosity, special 2 monsters from my deck. Right now I can't summon an 𝙂𝙀𝙉𝙀𝙍 because 𝙂𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀 is a light. This is the only thing where 2 Generator monsters have the same attribute or type, is Mardel and 𝙂𝙀𝙀𝙀 because they are both light monsters. I chose to not summon a Vala here as well because I don't have a Generator monster in my hand or graveyard at this point, but if you got more than 2 cards in your hand and you got a Generator monster in your hand, you could summon a Vala as well to special summon here. Summon Jormungandr F, both players draw 1, attach 1. Ha is a hand loop right now, and I choose to summon the Vala of the boss stage effect. You have to keep in mind that you do chain link 1 boss stage, chain link 2 Ha, just to chain block your own boss stage in case they got an Ash Blossom. Again I summon the Vala of my field spell, Vala F, summon back the Nighthawk, and I use the Ha and the Vala as Exceeds materials right now, because Monstrosity says that the monsters are destroyed during the end phase that you summon. I make a Phantom Fortress Enter Bloodnir F, it's another hand loop, then I can make an F0 with these 2. And during my opponent's draw phase I can special summon back a Vala again, and if you summon Vala off the boss stage then always do chain link 1 boss stage, chain link 2 Vala again. Vala summons a monster from the graveyard and you get the tokens with boss stage. And this is 1 Sum Negate, 1 Monster Negate, 1 Omni Negate, 2 hand loops, and you could even add a Shifter to this combo. It's really insane what this deck can do. And now just a small reminder that you can lock your opponent with Droll and Lockbird in the standby phase with this deck. It's really funny. It's my opponent's draw phase right now. I'm resolving the Generator boss stage. The opening hand was Mardel, Vala and Droll. Standby phase I use Jormungandr, both players draw 1, attach 1. Use Ha to make them send a monster from the hand to the graveyard, and chain link 2 I can use Droll to lock them out of searching anything. This is a game I played against 𝙂𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙍 where I won the die roller. I normal Lonefire grabs me Mardel, and then Mardel searches me boss stage. Then I use Vala, send Loptr to the graveyard and revive Loptr of the Vala effect, activate boss stage, make a Jormungandr, and here I did a misplay. I used Jormungandr already and I should have used Loptr to summon a half from the deck so that I add another hand loop to my end board. I instead summon Ha off the boss stage. I should have summoned a Loptr off the boss stage and summoned a Ha with the Loptr effect. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Could have had 1 hand loop right now. Then draw phase, I summon a Nighthawk from my deck. Standby phase, I use the Jormungandr, I draw into a Droll and Lockbird, and because Droll is so good, I chose to use the Nidhogg as Xyz material for the Jormungandr. Then effect, I can make them send a monster from their hand to the graveyard. And they kinda think that it's still my turn, I assume, and they Droll and Lockbird themselves. And just to rub it in, I use my own Droll and Lockbird to show them I had one anyway. And then I am ending on one Omni Negate, a way to summon, for example, an Adgada from the deck, Nibiru, Bell, and a really beefy Jormungandr that next turn could become a 6 material Zeus. And they surrender, unsurprisingly. Yeah, this deck is a lot of fun if you play it. It's really fun to play. It's it can become kinda unfun to play if you play against something like Anti-Spell Fragrance, which kinda stinks. But it's a really funny deck, and I love that this just isn't such a brick fest anymore, because the level 9s with Vala are just additional combo material and not just bricks in your hand anymore.